Okay, so now we're going to look at, it's called the addition method or the elimination by addition method or the elimination method, one of those phraseology. And I'm going to give you an introduction to it here. Okay, so if you have A equals B, then you can add a number to both sides. Then A plus C equals B plus C, right? We've done that before. We do it all the time. We're solving an equation, so we add something to both sides. It could be a positive number, it could be a negative number. But as long as we're adding the same thing to both sides, we're allowed to do that with an equation. Okay, well, let's say you have also C equals D. Well, then couldn't you say that A plus C equals B plus D, right? Like you could substitute a D in place of C because they're equal to each other. So this brings the concept of adding equations, that you can add equal parts to equal parts. So A plus C equals B plus D. So I kind of have it stacked like that so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, okay? So that is true. You can add equal parts to equal parts and you'll have an equation. Okay. All right. So in this system of equations over here, I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to add the equations. I'm going to say, what's 3x plus negative 3x? Well, that's 0x, right? Those cancel out. Those were out of there. What's a negative 4y and a 2y? Negative 2y. And what is 11 and negative 7? 4. Now, one thing you have to be careful of, you have to make sure your x's are lined up, your y's are lined up, your equal signs are lined up, and your constants are lined up. It's got to be in that ax plus by equals c form, okay? You could vary a little bit, but it'll just mess you up. So make sure it's in, both equations are in that form, and then you can add the equations. Now, the great thing here is those x's canceled out, right? So now we just have negative 2y equals 4. Normally I don't rewrite it, but this time I did. Okay, that you can solve, right? Divide both sides by negative 2. And you get y equals negative 2. Well, that's great. You'd have to find x. Now, you're going to have to go to one of the equations. You don't have to go to both of them. Just pick an equation, whichever one you think is easier, which I don't know which one's easier, but I'm going to take the top equation this time. So I'm going to rewrite that. 3x minus 4y equals 11. And I'm going to substitute, we're back substituting again. We're going to put in negative 2 for the y. So I'll have 3x minus 4 times negative 2 equals 11. So I have 3x plus 8 equals 11. And then I subtract 8 from both sides. I'm going to be able to solve. 3x equals 3. Divide both sides by 3. And I get x equals 1. So I solved for x and I solved for y. We're going to write this as an ordered pair. So it's going to be 1 comma negative 2. And you could check it by checking it in the other equation just to make sure it works. Okay? That's the idea behind adding equations or the addition method. Okay? All right, but one thing we have to make sure to use the addition method is you have to make sure something eliminates. So in the next video, we're going to talk about, well, what if nothing eliminates? Okay.